All right. Hello, everyone, or good afternoon, I should say. Just wanted to give everyone a quick update on our evolving weather situation this afternoon. And thankfully, we are probably going to escape, excuse me, without a whole lot of severe weather in our particular area. And with that, I just got home from church. I hadn't even had a chance to change yet, so you get to see me in my Sunday best. Anyway, so I wanted to start out with the temperature at my house is 76 degrees, and you can tell that's fairly warm for the end of February, especially about a week and a half ago we had temperatures near zero. But that's Texas for you. So very humid outside, so that's giving a lot of fuel for these storms. And as we saw earlier this morning, it was really more, of a hailer type storms northwest of Dallas Fort Worth, and it moved northeast. And those individual storms, that's kind of how we thought it was going to start initially. And then now the thought, or at least even back then, the thought was that as time goes on, as this front moves through, that the line would, the storage would form into a line. That's kind of what we're seeing now. So let's just cut to the chase and get to that. So this is the current radar, and as you can see, this is actually these line of storms are actually the position of the cold front. So everything behind this line, the severe weather threat will end. But obviously, if you're east of this line, there's still a chance for these storms to ramp up. Now, because they're not individual storms at the moment like they were this morning, so our hail threat is lower. It doesn't mean it's zero. It just means it's lower. Now, actually, the bigger severe weather threat with these storms are damaging wind gusts. That's typically what we see in these line of storms. So let's put this into motion here and kind of give you an idea of how fast these things are moving. And as soon as my radar loops through, there we go. So you can kind of see those storms early in the morning raced off to the northeast that did produce some hail in the northwest and very northern parts of Dallas Fort Worth. But now as the front is moving through, as I mentioned, it's starting to form a little bit more of a line. And while that's not totally good news, it is better news in the sense that it does reduce our hail threat. Like I said, it doesn't make it zero. It doesn't mean that you can't see hail. But it just tends to be more of the squall line type weather as opposed to those individual storms that get really, really nasty. So the other thing I wanted to show you to kind of give you an idea about the hail potential, and I'm going to split this screen here. Okay, so the screen on the left is a traditional radar. The screen on the right is actually the radar measuring the height of the clouds, the cloud tops really. So the scale you see here, the blue is 15,000 feet, the lighter blue. The medium blue is 20,000, darker blue is 25,000. And then you see some green up here. That's a 30,000 foot thunderstorm top. So what does that really mean about anything, Jeff? Well, again, that will give you an idea of the hail producing capability of these storms. The taller the storms are, these 40,000, 50,000 foot storm tops, that gives the storm a lot more room to develop hail. Now, like I said, these can change in a pretty good instant, but right now, the top of these storms aren't really conducive for producing hail, so that's good. Hopefully it'll stay that way. So when this line moving through, probably as I'm talking, it's about 1250. So I would think if you're in northeast Dallas County, Sachse, southern Collin County, you're going to see these storms within the next 30 minutes to an hour, depending on exactly where you are. So, obviously if you're in Collin County, closer to Allen, McKinney, West Plano, things like that, you'll see them probably within the next 15 minutes. And then, of course, further east you are, a little bit longer, maybe up to an hour from now. So the bottom line at the moment is that there are no severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for our area. Let's hope it stays that way. But as time goes on, the chances will increase that we could see some severe thunderstorms. So it's the old adage you always use it here with severe weather in the spring with cold fronts coming through, is that you're if you're on the east side of it, then you still have a chance for seeing severe weather. Once the cold front moves through and you're on the west side of it, then you can kind of relax. Doesn't mean we won't get some rain later on tonight and tomorrow, but as far as severe weather potential, once the front moves through your location, then you're going to be good. So again, let's go back to my weather site. I wanted to show you something here real quick. So like I said, 77 degrees, that's very humid for this time of year. So I wanted to show you, and this is right outside my house, and it might be a little hard to see on the screen, but you can kind of see these low clouds that are hanging around, and then you can see a little bit more definition in the clouds, and that means these storms are starting to fire up again. And actually, let's look at the satellite picture here, and I'm going to refresh this real quick. So while it's refreshing, you can see out in West Texas, crystal clear skies, right? So I mean that's pretty normal for them. But hopefully you can see this. So right around, you can see these brighter white clouds right here. So that's the storms that were forming earlier, and then that's the one that moved into Sherman and into Oklahoma. And you see these bright white clouds forming along the front. So like I said, they're moving northeast. They're moving east. The whole line's moving east, but the individual cells within the line are moving northeast. So I guess for now, there's not a whole lot to report. And let me get rid of this split screen here. Do this, and there we go. All right, so let's put this in motion one more time. So right now, there's not a whole lot to be concerned about. Now that, this is Texas, and in severe weather season, that can change in a heartbeat. So what you would want to watch for, and obviously what I'll be watching for, is this line of storms. See if they ramp up, and they are getting pretty healthy. So, by no means are we out of the woods yet. I mean, if you're east of that line. So it's about 12:52 now. Between now and 1:30, 2 o'clock, be on your guard. I'll definitely be watching it. I would not be shocked if we saw a severe thunderstorm warning or two between now and then. Hopefully not. But at least for now, I would think if we did see some of that, it might be more for wind gusts as opposed to hail. But again, hail is certainly in play. Tornado threat is very, very low, so I don't really see that. However, that's usually your famous last words when you say something like that. Then the next thing you see is a tornado warning. So, but overall, the chances are pretty low. All right, with that, I'm watching the weather, so you don't have to. I'll keep an eye on things, and if it gets really crazy, I'll come back live. If not, I'll try to update you the more traditional way. And everybody have a great afternoon, and we will get rid of the storms here in not too distant future. Take care, everyone.